You are. You're jealous of my hot black lover.
You look beautiful. Mwah. Now come here, lean forward.
I try to avoid humiliation with limited success.
Instead, don't bring a book about clams.
Sharks. It was about sharks.
No, seriously, a steakhouse? That sounds like much more fun.
Gonna count to 3. 1, 2.
You don't always know your kid, and that is never your fault.
You've got to talk to Vito.
I can't talk to him.
You have to talk to him. She just said that she's threatening to take him to court, and she will do it.
I kind of lost my mind and caused a little bit of an uproar on election day.
We're talking about the 90 stories in 24 hours?
Yes. To be fair, I was in Israel and I was drunk.
What happens when a beloved sitcom star steps into global politics? Everyone knew her as the lovably chaotic Grace Adler, the woman who made Thursday nights must-see TV for an entire generation.
Too big, maybe. Maybe just one.
But the woman behind that iconic role has lived a life far more complicated, far more courageous, and far more controversial than anything she ever played on screen.
Okay, I love you. You're totally wrong for this. And I said, tell me why. And he said, the character is a neurotic Jew from New York. And I went, hello, hello, hello.
And before we get into all of it, because trust me, we are going to get into all of it, there are 2 things you need to stick around for. First, the behind-the-scenes tension during Will and Grace that almost derailed the entire show before it even reached its peak. And second, the moment Debra Messing went so far off the rails on social media that even people who loved her for decades couldn't defend it. That story and what it cost her is coming before this video was over. Stay with us. On August 15th, 1968, Debra Lynn Messing was born in Brooklyn, New York, the daughter of Sandra Simons, a professional singer, banker, and travel agent, and Brian Messing, a sales executive in the costume jewelry industry. Her family was proudly Jewish, with roots stretching back to Russia, Poland, and England. When Debra was just 3 years old, the family packed up and moved to East Greenwich, Rhode Island, a quiet, predominantly non-Jewish town outside Providence.
My parents grew up Orthodox in Brooklyn, and yes, Borough Park.
BK.
And then because my father got a job, we moved to Rhode Island.
And that detail matters, because growing up as one of only 3 Jewish children in her entire school would leave a mark on her that would shape everything she did later in life.
Rhode Island!
The size of that shout was commensurate to the size of the state.
Amazing! There's like 6 of us.
7.
Now 7.
She was in 2nd grade when a boy in gym class called her a slur she didn't even understand yet. The teacher sent the boy to the principal's office, and every single kid in that line turned and glared at Debra like she was the one who caused the problem. That moment planted something in her, a quiet awareness that she was different, that the world outside her home didn't always feel safe. But inside that home, her parents created something beautiful. They sat her down after that incident and told her plainly, "We are proud Jews who stand with our people and with the state of Israel." That message would echo through the next 5 decades of her life.
When I was in 2nd grade, we were lining up for gym class, and a little boy turned to me and said, "Get to the back of the line, kike." And I didn't know what it meant, but the teacher did. And the teacher sent the kid to the principal's office, and everyone in the class looked at me like, "What did you do?" You know, we had a swastika painted on my grandfather's car on Halloween. We had, big globe balls at the end of our driveway that were smashed with a bat on a regular basis.
By high school, Debra had found her escape and her calling. She was cast as the lead in productions of Annie and Fiddler on the Roof, took lessons in dance, singing, and acting, and in 1986 was named Rhode Island's Junior Miss, competing nationally in the America's Junior Miss Scholarship Program. Her parents saw the talent. They also wanted her grounded. So when it was time for college, they encouraged her to pursue a full liberal arts education with the specific condition: 3/4 of her courses could have nothing to do with theater.
I had said to my parents, I want to go to fame. I want to go to the, performing arts high school. And they said, you have to get your liberal arts education, and you are an intelligent woman, you have to be able to support yourself.
She eventually enrolled at Brandeis University, but had to leave before completing her junior year. That same year, Debra was accepted into the elite graduate acting program at New York University's Tisch School of Arts, a program that accepted only 16 students annually. Not 16%, 16 people out of the entire country.
Going my junior year of college to study in London because there was so little at Brandeis for me to do. So I studied through the Royal Academy and through the London Academy of Music. I remember Ted Kazanoff got me ready for my audition for NYU for the graduate program. One of the graduate playwrights wrote my monologue to get into NYU.
And on her very first day as a graduate student, she met a quiet, introspective writer named Daniel Zellman. She would later say she couldn't stop thinking about him because while she wore everything on the surface, he kept everything close to the chest. The contrast was magnetic. But that relationship is a story for a little later. Because first, Debra had a career to build. In 1993, Debra won praise in a pre-Broadway workshop production of Tony Kushner's Angels in America, Perestroika, a groundbreaking play that put her squarely in the company of serious theatrical artists. By late 1994 and early 1995, she was appearing in 3 episodes of the acclaimed drama NYPD Blue, playing Dana Abandando, the conniving sister of one of the main characters.
This isn't your fault. I just shouldn't be here.
Don't apologize. I hate it when men apologize.
In 1995, she made her film debut in A Walk in the Clouds alongside Keanu Reeves.
I'm sorry, Paul.
Paul! Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
A small role, but a foot in the door of Hollywood.
Big break in a way was A Walk in the Clouds. Is that correct, or were there other things before that?
I actually think NYPD Blue, which preceded that, was my big break.
Yeah.
That same year, Fox handed her the co-lead in Ned and Stacy, a sitcom about 2 strangers who marry for convenience.
Why aren't you married? Why? She sounds like a middle-aged Jewish car alarm.
It ran 2 seasons, from 1995 to 1997, and Debra described the experience as being thrown into a fire, terrified, learning in front of millions.
Well, I want to do something like Friends or Mad About You, and I said, you actually have something that I think I'm really right for. And they said, what is it? And I said, Ned and Stacy, and they said, well, what happened? Go in. And they're like, oh, I did. And I never heard from them again.
She also appeared in 2 episodes of Seinfeld as Jerry's date in 1996 and 1997.
Dentist.
Yeah, who needs them? Not to mention the blacks and the Jews.
Not bad for a girl from East Greenwich. In 1998, Debra landed the lead in ABC's science fiction drama Prey, playing bioanthropologist Sloane Parker.
I don't want to see that.
I can't. I have to know.
A scientist discovering a new and deadly species of humans born from global warming. The show found a cult following, but was canceled after 1 season. And right in the middle of that cancellation, her agent slid a script across the table, the pilot for Will and Grace. Debra was exhausted. She wanted time off. She almost said no. She didn't.
And I got a call from my agent who said, I've got a script you have to read. And I said, I just wrapped, call me in 3 months. I need to sleep. And he said, this one's special, stay in bed. You have to read it. And it was delivered to me and I read it in bed and I thought, oh my gosh.
When the producers came to her apartment to pitch the show, reportedly armed with a bottle of vodka and some limes, they made one promise she needed to hear. The first priority always would be to make people laugh, not to preach, not to push an agenda, to make people laugh. She signed on.
Max and Dave showed up at my house with a liter of vodka and a lime and said, we want to answer every question you possibly can have because we really want you.
Will and Grace premiered on NBC on September 21st, 1998. Debra played Grace Adler, a spirited, clumsy, emotionally open interior designer who lived with her gay best friend, Will Truman, played by Eric McCormick. The show was directed by James Burrows, the same man who directed Cheers, Frasier, and Friends.
Hi, Grace. Hi, Jack.
Going to my audition.
Going to make a baby.
Good luck.
Good luck to you, too.
and it absolutely exploded. By the end of the first season, NBC gave each of the 4 principal actors a Porsche Boxster. Not a bonus check, a Porsche. That's how fast the money was flowing. The show ran for 8 seasons, from 1998 to 2006, winning 18 Emmy Awards.
And the Emmy goes to Will and Grace.
Debra received 5 Emmy nominations for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Comedy Series. And on September 21, 2003, exactly 5 years after the show premiered, she won.
And the Emmy goes to Debra Messing, Will and Grace.
She also got 7 Golden Globe nominations and 7 Screen Actors Guild nominations, winning 1 SAG Award as part of the ensemble cast in 2001. But none of it came without complications.
Well, I think we have to talk about the Golden Globe nomination. That's amazing.
I'm over the moon. I did not expect it at all. I was asleep. I didn't set my alarm. But the great piece of trivia is that over the years, Will and Grace has been nominated for 30 Golden Globe Awards and have won 0.
As Will and Grace climbed toward the top of the ratings, whispers began circulating about tension behind the scenes. Reports surfaced of friction between Debra and co-star Megan Mullally, who played the iconic Karen Walker. Sources close to the production suggested jealousy over Mullally's growing fan base and the attention Karen was receiving from audiences who sometimes considered her the breakout character of the entire show. No public falling out ever fully materialized, but the tension was real. Debra never addressed it directly, and that silence in its own way said everything.
When Debra posted this image urging Emmy voters to support Will and Grace, she apparently tagged everyone except Megan.
That is it.
On September 3, 2000, Debra married Daniel Zellman, the same quiet, introspective man she'd met on their first day at NYU a decade earlier. They settled in Manhattan, and on April 7, 2004, they welcomed their son, Roman Walker Zellman, into the world. Debra described those first months of motherhood as the most all-consuming experience of her life, barely sleeping, entirely absorbed in the little boy she called her whole world. She also mentioned her struggles with pregnancy.
I think it took 3 years to feel like, okay, I'm being the mother I want to be, and I'm being a responsible employee, and filling up that reserve as well.
How old is he now?
He's 10 months.
That's really 10 months.
10
Roman.
months, Roman.
And what's 10 months? Is that talking yet?
He's saying dada, no mama. I don't know what to make of that.
Roman grew up largely out of the public eye. In 2022, Debra announced on Instagram that he had been accepted to Wesleyan University in Connecticut. He is now in his early 20s, and by all accounts, the two remain extremely close. While Will and Grace was at its peak, Debra was also building her film career. In 2002, Woody Allen cast her in Hollywood Ending as Laurie, an ambitious actress convinced of her own destiny.
Wow, congratulations, Wednesday.
New Year's Eve.
Oh my goodness, how romantic.
That same year, she appeared in the supernatural thriller The Mothman Prophecies alongside Richard Gere, playing a woman with an unsettling brush with fate.
Excuse me, we bought a house.
We bought a big house.
In 2004, she appeared in Along Came Polly alongside Ben Stiller and Jennifer Aniston.
You're staying on the island with Claude? I'm a little confused right now, Ruben. I think I need a little time just to figure things out.
In 2005, she headlined The Wedding Date opposite Dermot Mulroney.
Happened in the sense that I picked up the phone, tracked you down, flew you over here, and gave you $6,000 out of my 401k.
But her personal life was about to take its own complicated turn. In 2011, after 11 years of marriage, Debra and Daniel Zellman separated. They would not officially divorce until 2016. During that time, Debra began dating her Smash co-star Will Chase, a relationship that lasted from late 2011 to October 2014. Smash, the NBC musical drama in which Debra played Broadway playwright Julia Houston, ran from 2012 to 2013.
Once he's domesticated.
It was a passion project, a sharp departure from sitcom life, and earned her critical notice even as the show struggled in the ratings before being canceled after its second season.
That was really exciting and challenging, and Smash obviously was something that had never been tried on primetime television before, and I'm a Broadway baby, so, the idea of bringing the theater to, Kansas, even people who live in New York can't afford to go to Broadway. It was heaven. I thought it was a brilliant concept.
From 2014 to 2016, she starred as homicide detective Laura Diamond in The Mysteries of Laura.
I'm gonna count to 3. 1, 2, 3.
A police procedural comedy on NBC that gave her a chance to balance physical comedy with genuine dramatic weight. And then in 2014, she made her Broadway debut in John Patrick Shanley's Outside Mullingar at the Samuel J. Friedman Theater. The play earned a Tony nomination for Best Play.
I called and Ma'am came and her face went white, so I gave her a drink of water, but didn't the glass have his teeth in it?
No.
That same year, Debra won the Best Actress Award at the Williamsburg Independent Film Festival for her performance in Like Sunday, Like Rain, alongside Green Day's Billie Joe Armstrong and Leighton Meester.
Basically, you get him to and from school and make sure he eats. That's it. Anything else you need, Issa will help you. Issa?
Yes, Mama.
She was building something, quietly, methodically, brick by brick. In September 2017, Will and Grace came back. The revival ran 3 seasons, from 2017 to 2020.
I'm about to be the voice of the gay army. Don't pick a fight with me.
Earning Debra a 9th Golden Globe nomination for her performance as Grace Adler. The same year, she was inducted into the Hollywood Walk of Fame, her star placed at 6,201 Hollywood Boulevard.
And Max Muchnick got a call saying there's a leak. You have to take your entire set and all the props back while we fix it. At that point, Max wrote us and was like, I have the set. Do you guys want to do like a little thing to get people to go out and vote? And we're like, sure. And we came back, we did a 7-minute little skit, and 7.5 million people saw it on YouTube, and that was it.
But 2017 also marked the moment Debra stepped fully, publicly, and sometimes controversially into the world of politics and activism. She had actually been knocking on doors for political campaigns since 2004, but now, with the political landscape sharpened and divisive, she became one of Hollywood's loudest voices against the Trump administration. In 2018, she co-founded a nonpartisan organization called I Am a Voter with Mandana Diani, aimed at educating and mobilizing citizens to participate in elections. And this is where things started to get complicated.
I felt like there were such horrible things happening in our country. There were children being held in cages at our border. And so I just said, there are much more important things to talk about. And I am certainly not one of those important things right now.
In September 2019, Debra called on social media for the public to share the names of donors attending a Trump fundraiser in Beverly Hills. Then came a second controversy in the same week. Debra shared a post from an Alabama church suggesting Black voters who supported Trump had mental illness. The backlash was immediate and fierce. #racist Debra Messing trended on Twitter. She deleted the post and apologized, saying she regretted sharing it recklessly. When Hamas attacked Israel on October 7, 2023, Debra Messing's entire world shifted. What came next, though, she remembers completely. In late 2023, Debra Messing became heavily involved in pro-Israel advocacy. She spoke at the March for Israel, traveled to Israel with Creative Community for Peace, met with soldiers and hostage families, sharing her experiences online. And although she has received immense and significant hate online, she continues in her advocacy.
What I will never know is if there is a great movie that they're casting and it's between me and someone else and the producer of the movie, the director of the movie, the casting director, if they happen to be anti-Israel, would they then be like, no, let's go with this one? I assume that will happen.
She later executive produced and appeared in October 8th, which examined anti-Semitism after the October 7th attacks. She described Hollywood's response as deeply upsetting and felt abandoned by an industry she expected to show solidarity. In November 2025, Zohran Mamdani won the New York City mayoral election, becoming the youngest mayor in over a century and the first Muslim and Indian American to hold the office. Messing reacted by posting nearly 100 Instagram stories in one day. The posts included memes labeling Mamdani an America-hating jihadist, a video calling him Osama bin Mamdani, content encouraging New Yorkers to vote no to terrorism, and a repost of a Truth Social message from Donald Trump, the same man she had previously compared to Adolf Hitler. The reaction sparked intense backlash, with critics and former supporters describing her behavior as extreme and Islamophobic. This moment significantly damaged her public image, and she continued criticizing Mamdani into 2026. Despite the controversy, her acting career continued. In 2025, she starred alongside Robert De Niro in The Alto Nights, directed by Barry Levinson.
That was our deal. We are our own family. We could live anywhere.
Her performance was widely praised, even though the film received mixed reviews. Controversy. As of 2026, Debra Messing's net worth is estimated at approximately $25 million. At the peak of Will and Grace, she was earning up to $600,000 per episode.
Hello, Grace.
A staggering figure that reflected both her talent and the show's cultural footprint. She is currently single. Her divorce from Daniel Zellman was finalized in 2016. Her relationship with Will Chase ended in 2014. She co-parents Roman, now in his early 20s, and by all accounts that relationship is the center of her personal world. Here is what Debra Messing is, stripped of all the noise. A girl from East Greenwich, a woman who trained obsessively, auditioned ferociously, and earned one of the most beloved roles in television history. A mother who raised her son to think for himself. An activist who sometimes burned herself in the fire she was trying to fight. If this story surprised you, drop a comment below because something tells us you didn't know half of what was in this video. And if you want more stories about the people behind the roles you love, hit that bell right now. The next one is going to leave your jaw on the floor.